Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about my 2020 Intel Macbook Pro 8 months later review. So yes, I've had this computer for almost 8 months. 8 months like today. I got it August 16th of 2020 and it's May 16th the time I'm filming this, so it's been exactly 8 months. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Make sure you follow me on Instagram as well as Twitter. I also made this TikTok where you can follow the behind the scenes of my account and filming and just general stuff like that. And that will be linked in the description. So without further ado, let's actually get started. Okay guys, so now I just want to go over the specs of my MacBook before we get started with the review, because different specs of MacBooks, for example, if I have 32 gigs of RAM and you have 16, it could perform in different ways. So I'm just going to show my specs. The specs of my computer are a quad-core i7, 32 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of SSD storage, and Intel Iris Plus graphics. So those are the specs of my computer. So now let's get started with the review. The specs of my computer, let's talk about some features and things that I think it handles really well and how I use it a day-to-day life. So let's get started. The first feature we have is the 13.3 Retina display. This is one of the best displays I've ever seen on the market. I think it's amazing. Obviously we're gonna have that. It would be a downgrade if we didn't. And the next thing is a no given too, is the Force Touch trackpad. Obviously we're gonna have that as well. A new thing about this that I've mentioned previously in my last review is the scissor switch. I love that keyboard over the butterfly so much better, and I think it just lets me type better and all of that stuff. And we have the touch bar. We've had the touch bar in the 13-inch for a while now, so again, it wouldn't be a bad thing if we removed it. And then with the ports, we just have 4 USB-C ports, which is amazing compared to my MacBook Air, which had 2. Alright, now let's talk about some things that I think the MacBook handles like a pro, like it says in the name. When it comes to 4K editing, it does not stutter. The only time it will stutter is when I have a lot of 4K clips like B-roll or a screen recording and a couple text on it. Even by that, I just have to wait for it to finish rendering, and then it plays so smooth. So if you're looking for a machine that's portable, a 13-inch screen, and can run Final Cut Pro like a champ and edit in 4K like a champ, this is your machine. The next thing, I love that it runs so smoothly. The next thing that I love that it runs so smooth is the Adobe Suite. When it comes to Photoshop, I'm currently teaching myself how to make better thumbnails on there, make it more exciting, and with all the layers that I'm adding, it's handling it so well. It blows my mind. So yes, the fan's gonna sound like it's about ready to take flight. Same with Lightroom. Lightroom, you're not doing a lot. You're just adding color, adding some enhancements to your photo, and that's all you're really doing. So it's nice that this MacBook is able to handle that. Lastly, in Audition is Adobe's kind of music thing. Sometimes I like to make my music longer if I don't want to put an extra song, or I don't have another song that I think fits with the video. So just by doing the remix and adding my little length crap, it's fast. I can do it within like 2 minutes, and it's, oh my gosh, it just, I love it. And then Handbrake. If you don't know what Handbrake is, it's basically the software that decode and make your video files smaller, and it's easier to upload to YouTube, and it handles Handbrake like no other thing. So it takes 13 minutes to export my 4K video into Handbrake, and it turns in from 32 gigabytes to about 500 megabytes, or just 1 gigabyte, 1.2 gigabyte I think is the most I've ever had. It takes about 13 minutes. You can watch a YouTube video while you wait, or watch a show. It's great. There is some flaws to this machine that I actually makes me want to rip my brains out. So I don't know if it's just my MacBook, but this MacBook always, every single time there's an update, it always fails to download. And I don't know if that's just mine or the whole Intel 2020 13-inch. It drives me bonkers. So with an overall summary, I think this MacBook does handle great in the real world. I think it can be an awesome machine if you're just starting editing, or if you're a pro and you want to travel across the world and edit. And I do think that like just everything about it is amazing. It definitely can be a competitor to M1. The only thing I think the M1 has an advantage on is the software is kind of built for M1, or M1's built for the software. See, with Intel you can't really do that, but a lot of people still don't trust M1 because a lot of apps still aren't ready for M1 chips. I mean, developers have to go through a whole new coding system. So yeah, if you don't trust M1 yet, the Intel's right here waiting for you to click check out. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel down below. We are so close to 200 subscribers and I'd really like to get there, so subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Ciao.